Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make this 3D Santa hat charm. Very cute, it's got a little bobble on the top and it's hollow like this. So to make one of these you're going to need some size 11 seed beads in red and white. You'll also need your beading needle and thread. I'm using 6 pound fire lime. You'll need a little jump ring as well. That's everything, so let's get started. So I've threaded my needle and the first thing you need to do is pick up 3 of your white seed beads, slide those down onto your thread like that, and now you're going to pick up 3 more and sew up through all 3 of these first ones that you've slid down like that. So now you have this, so you're coming out the top here. Now you're going to sew down through those 3 that you just added. Like that. So we have 2 rows of 3. Now you're going to add another one, so picking up 3 more. This time you're coming out the bottom here, so you're going to go down through all 3 of these. So you have this and then up through those 3 we just added. So now we've got 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. We're going to add 3 more beads, so picking up 3 and going up through these 3. So you're always going into the opposite side from the thread. So if the thread's coming out the top, you go in through the bottom. If the thread's coming out the bottom, you go through the top. Like that, and then back down through those 3 we just added. Okay, so you need to carry on doing that until you've got 20 rows. So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So keep going until you've got a total of 20 rows. Okay, so I've gone ahead and now I've got 20 rows. So just before you carry on, just count your rows and double check that you have got 20. Otherwise the rest of the pattern's not going to work if you've got an odd number. So you should have this, and it's a bit messy. So to neaten it up, we're going to go from this end all the way back to the other end. So you're coming out the bottom or the top, doesn't matter, but you're going to go back through the next row and then through the one after that, and you're sort of going to zigzag. So if you're coming out the top, you're going to go down, up, and the same on the bottom, but you're going to go up, down. So I'm starting here, I'm going to go down through the next row, pulling it nice and tight each time, and then up through the next one, down through the next one, and going to do that until you're all the way at this other end. So then when you've got all the way back to the other end, it should look a bit neater like this. It's just a bit tidier. So now I'm coming out here. So what we're going to do now is join the 2 ends together. So you can just fold it in half like this. So you've got your 2 ends, and I'm coming out here, so I'm going to go through these 3 on the other end, through this side first, and then back through those ones I was coming out of, and I'm going to circle through that one more time just to make sure it's nice and secure. Pull that nice and tight, and now you can open it back up. So this is going to be the base of your hat around the bottom. So now we're going to start building up, and we're going to do a sort of brick stitch kind of thing. We're going to pick up 3 red beads, and we're coming out here. We're going to take our needle under the thread that connects this row that we're coming out of to the next one. See this thread here? You're going to take your needle under the threads like that, pull it down, and then sew up through all 3 of those beads. And when you pull it down, it should look like this. So now we're going to do the same again. Pick up 3 red, and now you're going to go under the thread that connects this row to the next one. So under these. So you've already gone under that thread there. So you're going under that next thread along. So it's this one. Pull that down, and then sew up through all 3 of those beads. pull it through, pull it down nice and tight, and you should have this. So again, same thing again, picking up 3 and going under the next thread. So you've already gone under this thread, so going under this next one here. Pull that down and sew up through those 3 beads that you just added. Pull that down and push it down with your thumb. Now you've got this. So we've done 3, so you need to go all the way around and add 17 more groups of 3 until you get right back round to here. So we'll have 20 rows in total of the red beads, and then I'll show you what to do next. So keep going, picking up 3 each time and going under the next thread bridge. So I've gone all the way around and I'm just about to add my last row, which is going to be my 20th row. So make sure after you've added all yours to turn it on its side like this and count how many rows you've got, because you need 20. So I'm just adding my last 3 in exactly the same way. Okay, so we have this, and then just to connect that last one to this one, because all the others, if you look on the top, are all connected, I'm just going to go from the top of this row down through the 3 in the row next to it. That was the first row we added, and we just want to join them together. Okay, so now you're coming out the bottom of that row, you're just going to move up through the next 3 so that you're back at the top. So now you're coming out one of these beads here on the top. So this time we're going to do the same technique again, but we're going to skip a row each time, so I'll explain. So we're going to pick up 3 again like last time, but this time we're not going to add 20 rows, we're going to add 10 rows. So picking up 3, and this time, instead of taking your needle under that next thread bridge next to where you're coming out of, you're going to skip 1 and go under the one after that. So I'm coming out here and skipping that next thread bridge and then going under the one after that. So pull it down, it's going to try and lie flat like this, so just pull it back out a little bit until they all stack on this side, and then go up through all 3 of them. And then pull it down. It's going to have this, don't worry about that. Just pull it down till they sit straight like that. Now picking up 3, and we're coming out here, same thing again. So we're not going to go under this next thread, we're going to go under the one after that. Pull that down. So they're going to join together, and then go up through those 3 you just added. Like that. So now we have this, and we're going to move around, do the same again, pick up 3, skip this next thread bridge and take your needle under the one after that. Pull that down and sew back up through those 3. So now you have this, so now you need to do that 7 more times. So we've got 3 rows and we need a total of 10. So remember, pick up 3 each time, skip a thread bridge and go under the next one all the way around, and I'll show you what to do when we get to the last row. Okay, so I've added 9 rows and I'm just adding my last one, so I'm skipping that one and going through the next one like always. So this is my 10th like group of 3, and up through those beads. And now we're going to join this last row to that first one like we always do. So go down through those last 3 there, and that's going to join those together. So now you should have this, and now it's like a cute little beanie hat. So on mine I've filled in a little bit of this gap here. So what you're going to do is take your needle, so mine's coming out the bottom of these 3 here. You want to take your needle down through this row on this side, so the row to the right of these that you're coming out of. So you come down through these. And now up through the row to the left. So you're coming out right here where this gap is, then you're going to pick up one red and go straight down through the next row, through the next 3. Like that, and then that red bead will just sit in that gap and fill it. So then we'll move up through the next 3, which should be here where this next gap is. So you're going to pick up 1 and go down through the next 3. Again, that bead's just going to slot in there and fill that gap. So go ahead and do that all the way around until you've filled all the gaps, and then I'll meet you back around here. So I've filled in all those gaps and I'm back around, and I'm coming out of the bottom of one of these rows here. So I'm going to move back up through the next row and then back up through one of these rows of 3s to get back right up to the top. So I'm coming out the top here. So this time we're going to pick up 2 beads, and you're going to do that regular kind of brick stitch technique again. So you're just going to go under the next thread and back up through those 2. Like that, picking up 2. And going under the next thread and back up through those 2. And again picking up 2, going under the next thread and back up through those 2. Now this row is a bit tighter, there's less space, so you need to sort of spread it out as much as you can like this, so you can really see where those threads are that you need to go under, and make sure you don't miss one like under here. And there's going to be 10 rows, so we've added 3 rows, so you need to add 7 more using every single one of these thread bridges all the way around, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, I've just added my last 2, and like always I'm going to join those last 2 to the first 2 that we did. So go down through those next 2 and back up towards the top. So now you should have this. So for this row we're going to decrease again, so we're going to end up with 5 rows, and we're going to be picking up 2 beads, and we're coming out here, and like we did before when we decreased, we're not going to go through the next thread bridge, we're going to go through the one after that. So miss one thread and go through the one after. Pull that down and then sew up through those 2 beads. Then picking up 2 and skipping this next thread and going under the one after that. Pull that down and go up through those 2 beads. And again, picking up 2, skipping this thread and going under the one after. And now back up through those 2 beads. Okay, so you're going to do that 2 more times. So I've just added these last 2 and I'm going to connect them to the next 2, which was the first 2 we added. So go down through those 2 and then back up through the other 2 that we were coming out of. Pull that nice and tight. And now we have this, and we've got these 5 beads on the top. So what we're going to do now is pick up one red, and coming out of this one, straight down through the next 2. So we're coming out of this one, we're going to pick up a bead and go straight down through the next one. Like this. Now we're going to sew up through the next 2 in the circle, picking up a bead and going straight down through the next 2. Okay, and now again you're going to sew up through the next 2 in the circle and picking up one, and you're going to go down through the next 2. Okay, back up through the next 2 in the circle. And now we have this. We've got these 3 beads on the top, but we need to increase one more. So pick up one more bead, one more red bead, and you're coming out of here. You're going to go straight down through the next 2. And that bead's going to force its way in there, so we've got 4 beads on the top. Okay, now you can move up through the next 2 and up into one of these 4 beads on the top. So we're swapping to white now, so we're going to put one white bead in between each of those 4 on the top. So picking up one, coming out of this one, you're going to go straight into that next red bead, picking up one and straight into the next red bead in that top group of 4. Picking up one and straight into the next one, and picking up one and back through that last one and up into the first white one that we added as well. Now we're going to put one bead in between each of those, so pick up one and go straight through the next white one, picking up one and straight through the next white one, and do that 2 more times. So we have this. Now I need to step up into this bead above. Okay, push those up and pull it nice and tight. This time picking up 2 beads to start with, pick up 2, coming out here, skip over one, go through the next one. Okay, picking up 2, skip over one, go through the next one. Pick up 2, skip over one, go through the next one. And last time, pick up 2, skip over one, go through the next one. And now move up through those next 2 beads where we started. This time picking up 1, skip over one and go through the next 2. Pick up 1, skip over one, go through the next 2. Pick up 1, skip over one, through the next 2. And finally pick up 1, skip that one underneath and go through the next 2, just these 2, and also up into that next single bead above as well. Okay, pull that really nice and tight. So now we've got these top 4 beads that we're working with. Picking up 1, skipping the 2 underneath and going through the next single bead. Pick up 1, skip the 2 underneath, go through the next one, and do that 2 more times. And then step up into the bead above. So I'm coming out here and moving up into this bead above. Okay, now you're just going to sew through those last 4 beads that you just added. So that they get brought together like that. and that's the finished hat. So now to just add a jump ring on the top, I usually just pick up my jump ring. Now out of this one on the top of this little group of 4 in this direction, I'm going to go through the bottom one in that group of 4 in the same direction. So like that. Okay, pull that through. So your jump ring sits on the top. Now go back through the jump ring. And back into that bead on the top of that group of 4, but we're already going into it on this side, so you want to go into it on the side that you've not gone through yet, like that. So that's created a little crisscross through the jump ring. Now you can go through that again to make that nice and secure, and then all you need to do is tie knots, cut off your threads, and then we're all finished. Okay, so once you've tied off your threads, then that's us all finished. So this is what they both look like. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and you're able to make one of these. Comment down below anything else you'd like to see, and like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed to see more of my videos, and follow me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah. Thanks so much for watching everyone. See you next time. Bye.